Super Saiyan God is the transformation that paved the way for a new era of Dragon Ball. For better or for worse, Super Saiyan God gave us Dragon Ball Super and new heights for the characters to climb towards. The form seems to have a general misunderstanding surrounding it, and the praise that it's given seems to be something that those who dislike the form can't sympathize with. I'm Carthu, and today I'm going to break down the brilliance of Super Saiyan God, my personal favorite transformation. Subversion is a tactic that acclaimed mangaka Akira Toriyama loves to use for the sake of comedy. Having the dangerous villains appear the least menacing than the earlier threats is one of the most famous and reoccurring examples of that in Dragon Ball. Usually, Toriyama's subversion is done in a light-hearted tone, allowing the cast to make an almost fourth wall breaking claim about the appearance of the villain and how they must be weak because of it. This isn't just conjecture either. Toriyama himself has said that he intentionally makes the strong characters appear weak to generate confusion and a reaction. In this interview, he says, "I wanted to go against people's expectation, that the strong ones always get stronger and bigger. I consciously tried to switch between telling a straightforward story and telling one that was unconventional and contradictory." However, this was only the case for villains and their transformations, rather than the heroes, especially when it came to transformations. In the original 522 chapters of Dragon Ball, there are 5 main transformations, 2 aesthetically different transformation variants, and 1 transformation-like technique, the Kaioken. The thing that remains fairly constant about these is a level of muscularity and intensity. Going quickly through them, you have the Ozaru form, which is literally a monster. The Kaioken massively increases muscle mass. Super Saiyan grades 1, 2, and 3 all increase muscle mass and overall emotional intensity. Super Saiyan 2 keeps muscles at normal Super Saiyan size, but especially in its first showing, it is engulfed in rage and lightning. Then, Super Saiyan 3 takes that formula to absurdity with extra long hair, the loss of eyebrows for some reason, an almost evil-looking expression, and the lightning we saw with Super Saiyan 2 completely covering it. And finally, we have the ultimate form, which makes the user appear like they're still in base form, but it's also described in a way that you wouldn't expect Gohan to physically transform in any way, though I would argue his expression becomes a lot more intense and very much out of character for his base form. The only minor subversion that you find in these transformations from this era is Super Saiyan Grade 4. But Grade 4 isn't subverting our expectations as readers or watchers, since Goku flat out says what Grade 4 will be before it's even revealed. It's instead an in-universe subversion of what characters like Vegeta think it means to be a Super Saiyan. So what does all of this have to do with the brilliance of Super Saiyan God? Well, everything. This form, when introduced, was a level of power that exceeded all others. Ultimate Gohan, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and even Super Vegeta were nothing in comparison. So how does Toriyama choose to portray this massive power boost? By breaking the mold. By redefining what a transformation can be. Enter Super Saiyan God. An interview from the anime-manga version of Battle of Gods tells us what Toriyama's thought process was when making the Super Saiyan God transformation, stating that he intentionally sought to subvert the trend of ever-increasingly macho Super Saiyan by making this simply Goku's base form with red hair and red eyes. Now, that may seem like a poor explanation of the aesthetics of this form, and it is. That's because character designer for Battle of Gods the movie and all of Dragon Ball Super, Tadayoshi Yamamuro, seems to have taken this idea to its next logical step, by making Goku skinnier and younger looking as well when transforming into Super Saiyan God. This would be the main interpretation of the form's design going forward, even Toyotaro adopting the additional subversion added in the anime's designs. Super Saiyan God would leave the animated series for quite some time, and it would not be until the Tournament of Power that we'd see Super Saiyan God return. In the Tournament of Power, we have several instances of Super Saiyan God appearing, but one that is far more controversial than others is episode 114 under animation supervisor Yuya Takahashi. This approach to Super Saiyan God is one I'm not personally fond of, and it all comes down to one big thing: intensity. Super Saiyan God has always been a calm state, even leaving Goku's eyes heavily rounded at all times. The overly defined muscles go against the slimming of Goku. He has no fat to lose from his base form, so when he changes from base to Super Saiyan God, he's losing muscle and getting leaner, skinnier, less defined. So overly defined muscles and intensity in facial shape tend to push me away from Takahashi's Super Saiyan God. It's objectively well drawn. I'm not saying anything about the art quality. It's like having an assignment to write a paper on the history of the US, and you wrote an amazing, world-class paper on the history of the UK. It could be the best paper ever, but you still missed the point. This actually leads us to talking about the concept of Super Saiyan God. Originally, Super Saiyan God seemed to be a one-time transformation, a shortcut to power in a time of need that would lead to the development of Super Saiyan Blue. However, it seems that Toyotaro was not fond of this form being wasted and started allowing it to be used at will. This gave us the non-ritual Super Saiyan God, a transformation that is essentially just a base Saiyan multiplying their power by using God Ki in base. This lacks the permanent power boost, growth over time, and healing factor that the ritual variant had to make it more unique, and so, by using Super Saiyan God more, the form actually became more shallow, a shell of the brilliance it once was. Well, until Dragon Ball Super Broly. In a lot of ways, Dragon Ball Super Broly set itself up to shake up the landscape of what it means to be modern Dragon Ball. This was done by changing our lead character designer to Naohiro Shintani and the incredible direction of Tatsuya Nagamine. When it comes to character designs, Shintani not only kept that Super Saiyan God was skinnier than base form, but also made Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue far more muscular. This really sells the contrast between base and any transformation, where in Dragon Ball Super, the Super Saiyan forms were the same size roughly as base form in terms of muscle mass. This takes us right into the movie's director though, Tatsuya Nagamine's thoughts on Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. In an interview before Dragon Ball Super Broly released, he says, "I personally wanted to make Super Saiyan Blue look crazy strong, and to clearly show the gap between it and Super Saiyan God. The two of them have rather different fighting styles. God relies on predicting and dodging the opponent's movements, plus godly techniques rather than power. Then Blue puts all the emphasis on bulldozing the opponent with brute force." This further distinction between Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue was something that was not only stated by Nagamine, but shown in the movie itself. Once Goku activated Super Saiyan God, he began to dodge Broly's attacks and use Broly's weight and momentum against him. This is not only the most unique change that a transformation has given a fighting style, but it also works incredibly well with the design of Super Saiyan God. Of course, this slimmer Goku would utilize his bulkier opponent's muscle mass against him, and does so with grace and tact. Then, take into consideration the Godbind technique, which was introduced in this movie and only used by Super Saiyan God Goku, and we have a form that has been expanded upon and developed to the point that has truly become something special. Its subversive aesthetic, technical finesse, and overall uniqueness has me saying that Super Saiyan God is by far the best transformation, and Super Saiyan God in general is brilliant. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, leave your opinions and counterpoints in the comments down below, And hit subscribe and the notification bell. That way you get to stay up to date on the channel and everything that goes on with it. If you're interested, please check out the merch store to support the channel in another way that gives you something in return. But till next time, peace!